This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Good Tuesday morning, and thank you so much for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak at 4:30. I'm Brian Mays. Let's begin this Tuesday morning with a look at what we're tracking, and we're tracking some rain chances later on today. Right, Erica?
Actually, tomorrow. Today's the last dry day. That rain chance will arrive by about 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, but as of now, we're pretty clear out there. A little bit of cloud coverage. Today, the main change will be an increase in clouds, increase in humidity. If you thought yesterday was sticky, we're already waking up to some slightly more sticky conditions this morning throughout central Texas. 70 degrees at Camp Mabry, 69 at ABIA. Right now, temperatures, here's what the hill country looks like. 70 in Enchanted Rock, a degree warmer right now for Mason. Austin again, 70. We have some upper 60s still for the central counties. Pflugerville at 68 in the eastern counties. The majority of them are under the 70-degree mark in the upper 60s. Here's what we're tracking for your rush hour forecast. Cloudy this morning, this afternoon, partly sunny, meaning more clouds than sun will be out there. But we're giving you the green light in terms of any issues for your morning commutes. Looking good so far. So, Brian, I will talk about those rain chances later this morning and break down the details. We got a busy next several days headed our way.
All right, Erica, thank you. The White House battling allegations against President Donald Trump this morning. According to a Washington Post report, the president shared classified information related to an Islamic State terrorist threat with the top Russian government official. ABC's Janae Norman explains how the Trump administration is reacting to the controversial accusations.
The bombshell allegations rocking the West Wing.
I was in the room. It didn't happen.
National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster denying the Washington Post report that President Trump shared highly classified information during this meeting with Russia's foreign minister and U.S. ambassador in the Oval Office.
The story that came out tonight, as reported, is false. The president and the foreign minister reviewed a range of common threats to our two countries, including threats to civil aviation. At no time were intelligence sources or methods discussed.
According to the Post, the classified information about an ISIS plot in Syria was given to the U.S. by a partner and is so sensitive that not even other allies have access to it. That Oval Office meeting was already under scrutiny. It came just a day after the president suddenly fired FBI Director James Comey and less than a month after Trump described U.S.-Russia relations at an all-time low. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, who was also in the room, saying they did not discuss sources, methods, or military operations. But no one at the White House specifically addressing the main allegation in the story that President Trump revealed classified information and in doing so may have jeopardized critical intelligence sharing operations.
That's really shocking. The suggestion that he might have shared highly classified information inappropriately with the Russian foreign minister is deeply troubling.
The story sounding alarms for lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
If it's accurate, it'd be troubling.
As president, Trump has the power to declassify information, but still the leading Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee is now asking intelligence leaders and the administration to brief the committee on what was shared during that meeting. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Now, while it is legal for the president to declassify information, we were wondering, is it legal for him to share classified information with those who do not have U.S. security clearance? Well, here's what we learned. It is legal. Analysts say that American presidents have broad authority to disclose classified information, making them virtually immune from prosecution. However, every other government employee with clearance could face criminal charges for disclosing classified information without prior permission. President Trump hoping to name a new FBI director by the end of the week. Yesterday in the Oval Office, he was asked about his search to replace James Comey.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. It's very good. Thank you, President. Moving rapidly.
There you go. It's apparently a crowded field. At least 8 candidates, including Texas U.S. Senator John Cornyn and former Congressman Mike Rogers, have already been interviewed for the position. New information this daybreak on the massive cyber attack that affected thousands of computers around the world. Investigators say North Korea may be behind the global crisis. Cybersecurity researchers say coding behind the virus is similar to the code used by North Korea in an attack on international banks last year. Hackers used a phishing scam to lock people out of their computers and collect a ransom. The massive cyber attack hit thousands of computers at banks, hospitals, and government institutions over the weekend. There are ways you can prevent your computer from the virus or keep it from getting on your computer. Always run a system and security update. They fill any security holes your computer might have. Don't click on any sketchy attachments that you may receive in emails. And make sure you regularly back up your computer, putting your data on an external hard drive or uploading it to a cloud storage service. There's a legal battle brewing between supporters and opponents of the controversial Senate Bill 4 law, which bans sanctuary cities. Today, officials from across the state will head to the Capitol and discuss a lawsuit that Attorney General Ken Paxton has filed. Paxton says the suit will help prevent opponents from filing multiple lawsuits. Named in the lawsuit, the City of Austin, Austin City Council member Greg Casar, and Austin Mayor Steve Adler. Senate Bill 4 would require all law enforcement to honor ICE detainers. Governor Abbott signed Senate Bill 4 into law last Sunday. It's set to go into effect September the 1st. Senate Bill 7, the so-called pass the trash bill, is on its way to the governor's desk. The Senate gave final approval yesterday. The bill aims to stop the practice of passing teachers who have inappropriate relationships with students from district to district. The measure creates a database to track them and adds criminal penalties for administrators who don't report teacher misconduct. The state is asking the federal government to resume funding for its women's health program here in Texas. Back in 2011, the state lost millions of dollars in federal funds when lawmakers voted to exclude abortion providers, such as Planned Parenthood, from its public health program for women. Now the state is submitting an application to get those federal dollars back, while still withholding money from Planned Parenthood. In a public hearing about the proposal, opponents said it could set a dangerous precedent.
We have already seen countless women lose access to care because of the state's actions. That could happen in other states as well. We certainly don't want to see more women lose access to care.
Now, the state argues it still provides access to women's health services just for programs that don't support abortions. Austin's affordable housing program taking a huge hit this morning, and it's impacting hundreds of families in Austin. Nearly 1,100 people currently on the waiting list for a housing choice voucher, which helps pay rent for low-income families. About 150 of these vouchers will go out this year, but that's 300 fewer than in 2016. This is because the list has been closed for more than 2 years now due to a backlog. The last time the Housing Authority opened the waiting list was back in 2014. The Housing Department took in 19,000 applications but only processed 2,500. Housing Authority officials say they probably won't be opening the wait list for at least a few years to come. To qualify for assistance, families must make 50% below the median area income. That's a little under $40,000 a year for a family of 4. 4:38 now, and City Council members are working to help families who need housing assistance. They approved a strategic housing plan that will revamp the city's permitting process. The plan could also make it easier for the city to purchase and preserve unused land for affordable housing projects. City Council also approved a 1 million square foot development plan for commercial and residential space in North Austin. 500 units will be built at the corner of Spicewood Springs and Mopac. 50 of those units will be used for affordable housing. An Austin police officer accused of faking his own death set to appear in court later this week, but legal experts say prosecutors could face some challenges in the courtroom. Authorities say 29-year-old Coleman Martin staged a scene near the U.S. border with Mexico back in April to make it look like he committed suicide. He was eventually captured in Dallas after flying in from Colombia. According to an arrest affidavit, Martin sent an email to a woman not identified in court documents saying he had staged the scene by parking his vehicle by a body of water near the border. Martin's now facing a misdemeanor charge of filing a false report. Legal experts say Martin didn't actually file the report himself, and this could lead to trouble in court. Prosecutors are reviewing the case and will soon decide what to do next. Happening today, Governor Greg Abbott will deliver remarks at a memorial service for fallen peace officers. It'll be at the Department of Public Safety headquarters beginning at 10:15 this morning. Thousands gathered in Washington, D.C. yesterday for National Police Week. Men and women came together to remember those killed in the line of duty. Fallen Austin police officer Amir Abdul Khalik was honored. He was hit by a car while escorting a funeral procession last September. He died in the hospital a few days later. Austin Interim Police Chief Brian Manley says it's bittersweet to have a member of the force receive such a great honor.
In a year like this year, where we're putting the name of one of our own, Amir Abdul Khalik, on the wall, is a little bit more heartfelt, and again, it's a little bit more somber, but it's important that we're here. It's important that our officers realize that we'll always be here for them, that we will stand up to our words, that you are never forgotten.
Nearly 400 officers who lost their lives in the line of duty had their name read out loud at our nation's Capitol on Monday. Turning now to our forecast, we're talking about perhaps the last day without some rain today, right, Erica?
That's right. We're entering into a pretty busy weather pattern. A couple of disturbances will be migrating towards central Texas. As for today, it's just the humidity and the clouds that will be our main concern. A little bit of sun in the forecast this afternoon. It's a warm start also to Tuesday. 70s is what we're waking up to, but lots of clouds and humidity out there. Check out the dew points. Everyone's in the 60s, even some upper 60s right now. In LaGrange, Austin, 66 degrees. That's your current dew point. So you're going to feel the humidity once you step out the door. So kicking your day off with mostly cloudy skies, we'll migrate to a partly sunny afternoon, so there will be more clouds than sun out there. Highs in the upper 80s. Not quite as warm as yesterday because of the cloud coverage, but it's still going to be quite warm. 89 degrees, that's still above average. We're supposed to be around 87 degrees for this time of the year. I'm going to talk about rain chances in the full forecast. By tomorrow, we're going to see several rain chances in the forecast throughout the rest of the work week and into the weekend also. Brian, back to you.
Erica, thank you. Holy guacamole. Take a look at this Texas-sized taco. It's gaining look at that. It's gaining worldwide attention. Riccio Smokehouse and Catering in Corpus recently became social media famous after one of their customers posted a picture of them rocking a taco like a baby. The taco's made with refried beans, breakfast sausage, chorizo, potatoes, eggs, brisket, and cheese, and whatever else they can find around the kitchen. The tortilla there, you see it, it's huge and it's homemade. There's a challenge now that you can do just in the restaurant. If you can eat that entire thing in under 11 minutes, it's free. Or you can pay the $13 and live. My goodness, that is one big taco. There's a new way to track your mail and prevent thieves from stealing it. Coming up, a new tool many people here in the state are turning to, and how you can sign up. Plus, the new self-service system Delta Airlines is testing out that could change the way you claim your luggage. Stay with us.